What's going on, guys? It's Mears here, and today I'm bringing you our Grand Design episode 2. This is the Grand Design, and obviously cost a lot of materials. Definitely can only be made on a modded server. We're going to go and have a closer look. Now, with my last base design, as you probably remember, I had the first 1, 2, 3 floors complete honeycomb. Now, this one, as you can see, also has 3 floors, but we enter on the 3rd floor. So the first 3 floors are entire honeycombs except for a little bit at the entrance. I'll show you that in just a second. So these towers coming off the base, they give much better view and perspective of the area. So if you're being raided, you're not confined to just sitting inside your base. You can sort of come out, and they're not going to waste C4 knocking these down or anything, so it's just a good spot, a good angle to get on your enemies, on your raiders. Now obviously it's 1x1 cupboards. These stone walls are pretty much useless, they can just be pickaxed through. However, they are useful, they're an extra layer of defense, they do help. So the only way to get into the base is by this thing here. This is called our bridge. And obviously if that's destroyed, there's no way to get into the base. So this is the front of our base. It's a complete triangle structure. As you can see, we've got 1 triangle foundation at the front here, with 2 lines of 3 foundations, 3 triangle foundations even, at the back and in the middle here. Yep, so 2 lines of 3 triangles and 1 triangle. And the way up into the base, there's no need to make it this complex. We just try and put as many barriers between us and a raider as we can. This is just a chest, there's no reason for this. And these windows, again, good advantage point, another spot that we can shoot people from. It's not necessary whatsoever, it's just something we like to do. Now going into the base itself, as I said before, the only way to get through it is by going on this bridge. So you destroy this bridge and people can't get across. So this is where the base actually starts. As you can see, we've got walls all around the outside, and we've gone for this circular sort of structure. We have multiple circles around the outside. What I've done here is I've gone for 6 triangles in the middle, as I usually do, with a square coming off of each triangle. Then in between those squares I have other triangles. Then I've gone for these 6 triangles again in the corners, and if I just show you this picture that my friend linked me on Fortify, it basically shows the design that we used. So as you can see, 6 triangles in the middle, squares coming off that with triangles, you got the circles, and then you basically got squares and triangles filling it in. But then we also have, as you can see on my original print screen, 2 foundations coming off each corner of the base, or each top tip of each circle, and that's where we've made the towers come off from. As you can see, as you head towards the top, it gets thinner. We have these sort of tower-like structures coming off, and I'll explain to you why we have those when we get further up. So when you come in, like I said, we have these sort of spherical foundation, well, all over the place. There's another one over here, and these go all the way down. They're good for honeycomb because they increase the amount of C4 they need to use to get in. And this isn't really important whatsoever. We were going to have doors on here, but it's just something nice and quick. You can run in, you drop off all the loot. If we're coming in and going out quickly, we can just chuck some metal in these furnaces and whatever we need to do. Like I said, there'll be nothing in here, or a campfire. We'll just chuck our garbage or whatever we got from going out in here, and we'll just go straight back out, or something along those lines. Now, the way you get up here, the way you get up onto the next floor, we've started utilising these trapdoor mechanisms all over the base. We've found them extremely useful. They're convenient, don't take up a lot of room, and they're cheaper than putting doors and stairs and things everywhere. So although it's not a cheap base design, doing things like this do save a little bit of money or materials. So you come up into the base, you go up the trapdoor. Again, we've got this spherical structure everywhere, and this is the centre of our base. And when you look up, there's a lot of floors. This is how we've designed it. You don't have to follow it, not religiously anyway. It's truly up to you. Now, it's really hard to remember which door you came out of and where you went and whatnot. but we use a reference point. We'll put like a little crate somewhere. This, obviously it gives things away really easily. You want to remove it or destroy it if you get being raided, so that it's not too obvious. Now what do we do for these doors? A lot of them have nothing in. You can put beds in there, put a chest room, truly up to you. They are absolute baits for anyone who is raiding. But we do also have, I believe the other one is on the opposite side here. We do also have these little rooms. Now I don't want to go down there because I'm not going to get back out. But as you can see, this is a little room, and this is actually one of our major chest rooms, although it doesn't look like it whatsoever. Similar to my last base design, you don't want your chest rooms to be in obvious places. If they're small rooms out of the way, you don't really go in them often. Raiders don't hear doors in that sort of area of your base. They're never going to guess it's in there. They're going to think your chest room's directly in the middle. That's why having small rooms on the side out of the way is so effective. And the way we get up to the next floor is by these trapdoors, and again they're dotted around. They're quite hard to find. There's not a lot of them, and like I said, we just have random crap in these rooms. So there's only, I think there's only 2 of these in the circle, but you can put as many as you want down, and these lead up to the next floor. And again, you've got really good coverage of this room. You can see everything in there, and you can move around really easily throughout the base. And just as the floor below, this is just a circular area. We've got beds and things in here, and if you go out onto the outside, you'll exit onto these towers. Now we have quite a few of these around the base. I think it's 6, and they're actually a bit hard to make because you need to make the foundation the same height as the foundation on your base, but you want to be 3 foundations away, and sometimes there's not enough room. The floor, it's not flat enough. The world isn't flat enough where you're building, so you want to make these so the same level as the door. I think that's a good example. We couldn't build a foundation all the way out at the bottom there, so we had to sort of judge how close it was, and we built up. So obviously it's a little bit out, doesn't matter too much as long as you can move around it. Again, with these you can put metal window bars, you can put doors, you can put whatever you want on it, make them more secure. It's just extra materials which we don't really have, or we didn't have at the time. But these are good little spots, easy to shoot from. Now you might be asking how to get to the next floor. Again, same as what I showed earlier, we are utilising these trapdoors as much as we can. So there's certain locations around the base, around the circles where these trapdoors are. And again, pew. You can shoot down, really utilising room, really utilising these triangles, so you can get a good aim on anyone who's breaking into your base. A lot of movement. Around the outside here, same as the floor below. Nothing in here. You can put doors, you can put beds, you can put whatever you want on here. It's really up to you. And on the outside, we've got just this little sort of wall. Good view, gives us good vision of, well, everything. Not necessarily usable, not really safe whatsoever. Definitely would not advise ever coming out here if you can help it. But it's an option. Aesthetic, looks nice, whatever you want to call it. These pillars, you probably noticed them, they're dotted about. These are imperative for stability. You will never be able to make a base tall enough without pillars, because there just won't be enough stability at the top. Now, I think my assistant is helping me by opening these hatches. This is sort of the next phase of our base. It turns almost into a tower now. And the way, like I said, there's no loot anywhere in any of these rooms. The only way you get up and down is by using these, and you can't shoot through that, so it's perfectly safe. And this is the top of our base, or is it? So this is nearly at the top, and we've just sort of built up. We've built up and inwards a little bit, like a spire sort of structure, as you can see. So we've started building in one closer on that floor, on the, I believe it's the 5th floor, and we've gone up and inwards again. And this is more or less the best room, the best floor. You'll be on this floor a lot. If you're sniping, if you're being raided, this is one of the floors you'll want to be on, because it's pretty much the highest point you can shoot from, unless you go to the Vary roof, which is what I'm going to show you now. So again, we're using these trapdoors as much as we can. Nothing really in here, just pillars, trying to increase the stability as much as we can. There are a lot of problems with stability on this base. It's not too bad. We've put beds and things up here. They're not necessary. We like being able to spawn up here. And this is, you can use this as a major chest room. I wouldn't. It's very susceptible to a rocket raid. They can just shoot it down with rockets and they don't get the loot, you don't get the loot, but you know, you're both missing out. We just use this, we store ammunition, guns up here, or just some guns, small amount of guns. And it's just a nice spot to shoot out of. You can respawn on one of these beds, run up here, grab a gun, go up onto the next floor up, and just like this you're on the roof and you've got absolutely brilliant vision of everything. Hi guys, Mears here. Please be sure to like and leave a comment just down below, and if you could subscribe as well, that'll help me out massively. I'll leave a link to the first grand design ever made on screen right now. If you haven't already seen that, you should go check that out. It's pretty sweet. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and as always, have fun guys.